Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Sigmund. We're already starting off on a great foot. This is a big one, guys. Boy, do we have a show for you today. This is the 10th episode. The 10th episode Extravaganza. We are doing Grease 2. And I got not one, not two, but three special guests. We got returning guests Molly Graham and Jeff Beaulieu of How Embarrassing Podcast and Sketch Me Like One of Your French Girls.
Hey, congrats on 10 episodes.
Yeah.
What a milestone.
And we got Angel Sanchez.
Woo, that's me.
Angel Sanchez, he's done a bunch of stuff. We're in a group together. Congratulatory BJs. He's been in Absolute Uncertainty. He's a legend.
A legend.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Also, we got a third timer here. This is Jeff's third episode.
Yeah, I know. I like how you've only done 10 episodes, and I've been in 3 of them now.
Yeah.
And it's so ironic because you don't watch any movies.
I'm not a big fan of movies.
You haven't seen The Godfather yet. You keep wanting me to do this shitty Hulk Hogan movie. What's it called?
Mr. Nanny, and it's not shitty.
I think that Barrett is just using his podcast as an excuse to get Jeff to hang out with him.
These aren't
more.
even airing. He's trying to force me to watch more movies. He's
Exactly.
disgusted about how I haven't seen so many movies.
Jeff,
Well,
you've been actively trying to stay away from movies. Like, no, the movies.
No, man. Nancy Reagan told me to say no to movies.
Okay, so we're doing Grease 2, as I said. Grease 1. What is everyone's experience with Grease 1? What do we think about it?
Grease 1's great.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched it all the time as a kid. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I like Grease 1, but nowhere near as much as I love Grease 2. I like Grease 1, but I love Grease 2.
Oh, we're going to get
Okay.
into it. So Grease 2 holds a special place in my heart because it was Molly and I's first movie we watched together.
Wow.
Like
And
Gremlins
That sounds
2 was.
romantic.
well, here's the thing. So I would say Molly and I's relationship is defined by 3 movies, one of which we've already covered, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and then Grease 2. Also, I Love You Man, which is a masterpiece, which probably won't be featured on this podcast, but it's a great movie.
Not
I
I
think
Love
I
You Man
Love
too.
You Man is one of the foundations of our relationship.
I think so.
Have we ever watched that movie?
We've watched the movie 3 times.
I don't
Wow,
know.
awkward.
I have a drinking problem.
I heard about Grease 2. I was watching TV when I was 12, and I didn't even know there was a Grease 2, and it was on TBS or USA late at night, and I didn't really think much of it at first. I thought it was shitty, but as I got older in my 20s, I don't know, I found a new appreciation for it. It is hilariously bad, but that's part of its charm. That's why I like it. Jeff, you hadn't seen Grease 2.
No, this was my first time watching it.
So I brought Jeff on because
Because you're obsessed with Jeff.
well, not only am I
Yes,
obsessed,
I'm basically a host.
I'm obsessed with Jeff, but also I wanted to recreate the Cats magic because so Molly, I, and Jeff went to see Cats in theaters and another shitty musical, and we had so much fun. We got drunk, and so I wanted to recreate that Cats magic. Angel, how did you first hear about Grease 2?
Probably the same way, as a kid seeing it on TBS or something like that. But I think my whole thing is when it came to those kind of movies as a child, they gave me this false sense that yeah, I'm gonna become an adult or a teenager and I can pretend to be cool and then I can have this fake alter ego and girls will really like me. So I don't know. I was gravitated to those movies, even though they're all horrible. Whether it's Grease 2 or Can't Buy Me Love. Or the black version, Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Oh, with Nick Cannon?
Yeah, with
I
Nick
remember
Cannon,
when
yeah.
that came out in theaters.
Yeah, so all those kind of movies made me think, yeah, I can figure this out when I became a teenager. So that's what I really drew me in to this movie, even though it's really this exact movie, plot point for plot point, but just gender swapped.
So
Wow. Can't Buy Me Love and Love Don't Cost a Thing are the same movie.
Yeah, they're both based off Shakespeare's,
Yeah.
one of the Shakespeare movies, but it's just the black version. It's
Yeah.
with the entire black cast.
which one do you like better?
Because my ancestors love Don't Cost a Thing.
So what you're saying is you wanted to be a cool writer.
Yes, I would
And
definitely want to be a cool writer.
did you ever become an actual cool writer?
No, in fact, I didn't learn to ride a bike till I was 13.
Damn,
so,
dude.
yeah, I kind of skipped the whole cool riding part. But in my heart, I was always a cool rider.
So, yeah, Grease 2 was one of these movies I debated. I went back and forth as to whether it should be on this podcast, but because typically the rule is it's supposed to have gotten mixed reviews when it came out. By all accounts, this movie was bad then. It's bad now, but I do feel like it has kind of attained this cult following over the years. And I know everybody, I mean, in our social circle, like, kind of loves it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not anybody if you don't like Grease 2, you know?
Wow.
I agree.
So, in our social circle.
Hey, in this neck of the woods, you
Yeah.
better like Grease too.
Yeah, we're like, around here, we like Grease 2.
And this bubble is all about Grease 2.
Here's the thing. If you don't like Grease 2, you're canceled. You're not my friend.
Yeah.
You're not my friend. Okay, so let's jump into it. Reviews at the time. Our boy, Roger Ebert, he gave this a 2 out of 4. This movie just recycles Grease without the stars, without the energy, without the freshness, and without the grease. There really isn't any grease in this movie.
But what do they mean, grease?
Yeah, what does he mean by that? Like,
None of hair gel?
Yeah, are we talking hair grease?
they comb their hair a couple
Oh,
times.
maybe because grease lightning from the cars. No one's working on the cars.
Well, I always thought
There's
grease.
a motorcycle, though.
But he's just banging it out. Remember, he doesn't even work on it.
He just hammers the fender for no reason.
That doesn't go on his bike.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the first grease, like, I thought it was called grease because they put grease in their hair. But I guess it is grease from, like, the
But
car.
Grease Lightning is
Yeah,
a
Grease
song.
Lightning.
I think it's a devil.
Yeah, the double entendre.
Yeah.
I think Roger Ebert's crazy. There is grease in this movie. A little bit. Maybe not as much. But he is right. It does just recycle. It's just the roles are swapped.
Yeah, just gender swap. That's all.
Yeah, and then
And it does have energy. That's bullshit,
it has
too.
energy.
Plenty of energy.
It doesn't have any good music though. Like,
Yes.
The first Grease is filled with the best songs.
We're
ever.
going to talk about that.
First
And these
Grease has
songs
some
are
bangers.
awful. These songs are bad.
All right, I got another bad review. Janet Maslin, the New York Times, dizzy and slight with an even more negligible plot than its predecessor had. This time, the story can't even masquerade as an excuse for stringing the songs together. Songs? What songs? The numbers in Grease 2 are so hopelessly insubstantial that the cast is forced to burst into melody about pastimes like bowling. I mean, she ain't wrong.
Well, I see that she wrote the story can't even masquerade, and I think that she meant to say charade.
The whole thing is this lady's from the New York Times, right?
Yeah.
It's clearly an East Coast elite. And I don't appreciate her shitting on charade and reproduction and prowling. Prowling is a great song.
You gotta walk, talk like, oh, I was jumping ahead. Oh,
I'm surprised she's allowed to review movies.
Yeah.
It's in, like,
why?
the
Because she's a
80s.
woman and
Yeah.
sexist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What you know about walking and talking like a T-bird?
Right?
Damn thing.
Right? What do you know about being owned by the T-Birds?
Yeah, she's just a dumb chick.
All right, I got a couple.
Okay.
All right. I got a couple. I actually got a couple positive reviews. Not everybody hated this at the time. Variety.
Would you say it got a mixed reception?
I would. Well, I don't know. We'll get into it when we talk about Rotten Tomatoes, but like Variety, where this film has a decided edge on its predecessor, is in the staging and cutting of the musical sequences. Choreographer and director Patricia Birch has come up with some unusual settings: a bowling alley, a bomb shelter. Well, we're gonna get into the bomb shelter for some of the scenes, and employs some sharp montage to give most of the songs and dances a fair amount of punch. So she liked it. She loved the choreography. I mean, some of the musical numbers, I mean, they are well staged and choreographed, but the songs themselves.
Just that first one, just like the opening scene was the only one I remember people dancing in.
Oh, the luau.
The luau. They dance luau.
Yeah.
Actually,
There was no hand jive, tell you that.
They dance for prowling. They dance for luau. They dance for back to school.
The bowling.
Yeah, they dance.
Bowling.
Yeah, bowling night. There was all day.
Reproduction.
They dance for reproduction.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no dancing. Oh, they dancing here. They dancing here.
Okay, so there's
There's
only dancing in every song.
Yes, only every song.
Yeah.
Actually, there's dancing when there's not music also.
Yeah,
So-
Michelle Pfeiffer's character is
There's
like
more dancing.
randomly,
Bopping
she'll
through,
randomly bop around.
Ooh,
for
we're
no
gonna talk about.
reason.
We're gonna get to when she humps that ladder. Never wanted to bend a ladder so hard in my life.
Wow.
All right,
Okay.
I got one last review. Okay, Gary Arnold, The Washington Post. You loved it. Grease 2 is the most serendipitous sequel in recent memory. It is an ingratiating, jubilant improvement on a crummy original. First off, A crummy original. What
Gary
the hell?
Arnold had some hot takes.
Coming off the top rope.
That is a bold take.
Crummy. He said
just-
it was crummy.
He wants to seem original and smart. You don't need all those big words to review Grease 2, you asshole.
But you know the thing is, like, so Grease 1 is objectively a better movie, but I've seen Grease 2 way more times than I've seen Grease 1. If I had to choose between the two of them, I'm watching Grease 2.
I actually agree. I think the first one is light years better, but like, what's the funner one to watch? Grease 2.
Grease 2.
Yeah.
So I thought the president of Paramount at the time, Barry Diller, he said, quote.
Wow, you just said his name like it was like
a slur. It sounded like it was a good
Yeah. Barry Diller.
Right. What a Diller. Goddamn Dillers, get out of my goddamn life.
he said it like it was a trash word.
He said, quote, on no level is it as good as the first. The quality isn't there.
He's like, but we still made it.
He said, yeah.
No level.
We did it.
I thought this
Should we make a movie?
I thought this was interesting too. The guy who co-created the original like stage play, the guy who kind of wrote the songs and stuff, he said, awful. ... The pits.
The pits.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Is that a good thing?
I think it's like it stinks like your armpits.
Oh.
But sometimes if you put deodorant on, your pits probably smell pretty good.
Yeah,
so this is kind of a weird quote. And then they interviewed him 27 years later, and he said, Grease 2 still brings a brief frown to my face. So
Brief frown.
Brief round.
yeah, only
He's
brief.
like, oh.
Just the
And then
slightest.
goes on with his day very quickly after that.
Moving on. All right. Rotten Tomatoes. Critics gave it a 38%.
Mm.
Audiences, 53. Consensus. Grease 2 is undeniably stocked with solid songs. Debatable. And well-choreographed dance sequences. But there's no getting around the fact that it's a blatant retread of its far more entertaining predecessor. I mean, that's a pretty spot-on consensus, I would say. Metacritic, 52. IMDb only has a 4.4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Out of how many? 10?
Out of 10.
That's not bad. Could be worse.
I was expecting worse on Rotten Tomatoes. I was expecting like a 17 or something.
Yeah, they gave fucking Mr. Nanny like a 7. Idiots.
I don't support Rotten Tomatoes.
Me
I
either.
think they say fucked up stuff. It's a good movie.
Yeah, an improvement on the crummy original. What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know about Rotten.
Rotten Tomatoes is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, you fucking mark
Yeah,
my words.
I'm gonna make a website that rates Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Let's see how they
We'll
feel.
see how they like it.
Let's do it now. Let's rate Rotten Tomatoes. What would we give
I'm gonna rate it a 2 out of
percent?
100. 2% out of 100.
I would give it a 54%.
On my website, Rotten Bananas.
Yeah, I give it 2 stinky bananas.
Ooh, my website's called Rotten Tomatoes.
I would give it 0.2.
Wow.
Damn.
You are
Damn.
mean.
I fucking hate Rotten Tomatoes.
If Rotten Tomatoes was drowning in a creek, I would not save it.
I would rather eat a Rotten Tomato than support RottenTomatoes.com.
If Rotten Tomatoes was a COVID-19 patient and they had to quarantine for 14 days, I wouldn't give them any food.
Just let them die.
I would let them die.
I wouldn't even Amazon grocery delivery them.
All right, box office. This movie had an $11.2 million budget. It only grossed $15.2.
So it made a profit.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did it though? Because you gotta think. I don't think the budget. I don't think that includes like advertising and everything.
I'm sure it
I
does.
think
Well,
it includes everything.
Typically, the rule of thumb is you have to double your budget just to break even.
But if you go by what the head of Paramount said, they probably didn't like market this thing very well. They probably put up one billboard in Los Angeles and that was
They
it.
probably knew they had a stinker on their hands. Okay, how much do you think the first Grease made? This is pitiful. The comparison.
How much did this one make?
So this one made $15.2 million.
$15.2 million. The
Maybe
first
like
Grease made 50 mil.
I would say 65.
I'll say 83.
Worldwide, $396 million. Man, this movie was a dud. A dud.
That is different.
That
a big difference.
that's like if you had an album and the first one went triple platinum, but the second one went triple plastic.
Yeah, you're like in Times Square trying to pass out Grease 2. Like that's their advertising for Grease 2. They're like, yo, check out this movie, man.
Like a homeless person.
The homeless guy gets it.
Yeah,
like, nah,
he doesn't even want it. Well, also, he doesn't want it.
396 million. That is
So much.
a huge difference.
That is fucking insane.
Oh
All right.
my goodness.
So we're gonna go into notes. Here's the thing with notes, and so little backstory. We got together Friday, ordered pizza, and all drank beers, and we were like watching the movie. I had my little notebook. I was taking notes. Like within the first 5 fucking minutes, I had a whole page of notes. So I really,
Barrett, I think, wrote down everything that happened.
like, well, everything
Yeah.
everything like cringy or embarrassing or funny, I wrote down.
Yeah.
So I had like tons of notes. So I had to really like kind of
It's
like
just the script of the movie
Yeah.
by the end.
Plot point for plot point.
All right, so we open up, opening number, back to school. Back to school.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I won't go.
Back to the school.
And the teacher with the huge tits is like leading dance.
Oh, my God. So the teacher is, like, hitting on the T-Birds, and then immediately she just starts dancing with them.
And then she's got to fix her hair, and then she goes into the school.
Yeah.
But I wrote this, every student, like, and this goes with the first one, like, we want to talk about Putsy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Putsy looks like he's 47. And every kid.
Oh, yeah. You start looking at receding hairlines and, like, yellow stained teeth.
Hey,
Like
I could be an extra in Grease, too. Damn it.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really
I
good.
don't think you're old enough.
I was gonna say, you'd probably look too young.
At one
Everybody.
point, there was someone who was like clearly in their 50s.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that
He
scene.
was a key grip, and they just needed an extra body. Like, hey, Gary.
So everybody looks like they're in their 30s. Eugene. So they couldn't get the big stars from the first movie. They couldn't get John Travolta or Olivia Newton-John or Kanicki or
No.
Rizzo.
No.
But they did, like, every B-list cast member was obviously totally down to do
Every
it.
single
So they
one.
got
Yeah.
so Eugene's back, and I guess he must have been a junior in the last
So
movie.
my whole thing about Grease, and it comes with a lot of high school movies, or high school like shows, I always try to figure out like what like year they're in. So like my theory is that Eugene, when he was younger, they picked on him. So Eugene's a senior now,
But he's still getting picked
but
on.
he's still getting picked on. So like, and most of this cast, I would like to think was either freshman or in 8th grade. Because this is back when they were junior highs. Junior highs went to 9th grade.
Yeah.
So that's why none of these people were around. So they were just not even in school at the point in time when this happened. So I like in my mind, they're seniors now. Eugene's a senior. Back then, he was in 10th grade. They picked on him. He's a full-grown man right now. Can't pick on me, but they still pick on him.
Yeah.
Poor Eugene.
Because he
He's
wears
probably gonna shoot the
glasses and
school.
carries books. He's a
So,
nerd.
in case you forgot he was a nerd, they remind you because he fucking gets out of the school bus and drops all his books like a fucking dork.
And he's wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, and you're like, he's back, baby.
But this song is crazy, and like all the students are like hanging out the window, and then there's like one student, the bell rings, and he comes out of nowhere and just like hops in the window.
Jumps.
Yeah.
Jumps a good 10 feet.
Yeah.
I was
in the air.
impressed.
It's very impressive. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I always thought, like, you know, when those kind of things in these movies, like, you think like they had to send out like a summer assignment. Like when you guys come back, you also have to know this choreography.
Or if they just surveyed the extras and they were like, who has the cool talent? And the guy was like, I can jump really high.
There's definitely a
You're in the
trampoline
movie.
there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a trampoline or something
It's
behind
gotta
those
be.
bushes.
I mean, he got some
No one can
air.
jump that high.
All right, so I wrote this down, and we were talking about this as we were watching. Like, what's with the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies accents? Like, because I looked it up. So Grease, the stage play takes place in Chicago.
Okay.
They filmed it in California.
Yeah.
Either way, that doesn't excuse the
Yeah,
fact
they're
that they're
filming Los
talking in like,
Angeles. Everyone
yeah.
has this like really bad Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
What's the story?
Hey, comb.
Hey, T-Bird.
The first line that Michelle Pfeiffer says in this movie is said through the thickest accent. Like, none of her other lines sound like that. It's like the
Yeah.
first thing she says is like just the thickest Brooklyn
remember what it
accent.
is?
I don't. What was it?
I didn't write it down.
Like something like, keep the nose, change your face. The girl's like complaining about her
Hey,
nose.
keep the nose, change your face. I'm walking here. And you're
Yeah.
like, what?
I guess like maybe like I think they had to go because like John Travolta's accent And they were like, well, this is his accent, so now we all have
Right.
to follow the same accent, even though we are clearly in Los Angeles. At least they said the stage play was based in Chicago. So.
It's
I
weird.
didn't know there was a stage play before.
I think you didn't know?
No.
Oh, you just thought, oh my God,
You thought some crazy person was just at a typewriter?
I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to make a
So
motion
made
picture.
musical.
Well, I feel like there's like this
Like
romanticized
Sound of Music.
like version of like cool kids, like in the 80s and 70s and 60s. It was like leather jackets and like you would talk like you're from Brooklyn. I don't know. Maybe it was like West Side Story started this. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. But still, I think I really just thought like everyone had to copy John Travolta's voice. That's all it came down to.
Yeah.
He was the biggest star. He was like super big at that point in time. Did Saturday Night Fever. They're like, we'll just get everybody talk like John Travolta.
All right, I wrote down Mr. Spears.
Oh, no.
He, like, so this is like old man who's like having seizures, and he like, well, it's funny. Like you think he dies, but then he comes back at the end of the movie, and then like dies again. Yeah, he
dies 3 times.
Yeah.
He's like always having nervous breakdowns, and they just show him like just collapse.
It's so fucked up. He like collapses on his desk, and all the students are like, "Yay!"
It's essentially like, I don't know, like they're weekend at Bernie's. Like he'll just die and come back to life.
Yeah.
Shake will eat some pills and die again. And get scared and die one more time.
All right. Well, speaking of that,
No reason for him to be in the movie.
No. I mean, it was kind of, I don't know. I'm an asshole, so I kind of thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny.
They had to get him in so they could get the hot male substitute in.
That's true. Yes.
Because could you imagine him doing reproduction?
I would like that better. I would like that better,
Or
actually.
couldn't the substitute just be the teacher and not die?
I guess so.
Right.
Like, why? We don't need this.
They're like the steps that we need to take to get to this.
All right, I wrote down.
Unnecessary.
So speaking of that very same classroom scene, over the intercom, when they do your xylophone thing.
Oh, they do
Yeah.
the xylophone just like in the original Grease, but she doesn't do it well. But
No, she does it worse. Which I looked that up. Like that lady, like the sidekick principal. This was her last movie. She died after this. Like that's like Grease 2. Like that's how you went out. Grease 2. Grease 2 killed you.
hey, I assume it's because she didn't do the xylophone,
No,
right? And the fan went crazy and murdered her.
Yeah, exactly. So over the intercom, they're like, "We have a new student all the way from Australia, Michael Carrington." Like, wait, in what universe? Like,
Introducing the new characters
Also,
in this
like,
movie.
introducing the new male lead. He's no John Travolta, but
They also announced about Mr. Spears. They're like, and welcome back, Mr. Spears, who spent time in a psychiatric hospital.
Which means he's already died once before.
Yeah, they just like blast his personal information out for the whole school.
Pretty sure that's against HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
Right.
So Michael Carrington is Sandy's cousin.
Right.
And okay, so Frenchie is still. She's like showing me.
She's back.
She's back. She's back to school. She's showing him around, and I guess she like dropped out. But then like.
Well, she was beauty school dropout.
Well, yeah, she dropped out of school to go to beauty school, but then she got kicked out of beauty school because she dyed her hair pink.
Because she failed tinting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about this. Like, is she still wears the pink lady jacket, but like she's not really in with the new pink lady. So like I'm confused. Like why did she get to wear it?
Like she lost her spot by like dropping out, and she came back. So she's like back. She's like with Dolores. She's at Dolores' level of pink lady. She got knocked back.
Okay.
In my mind.
But then she's probably gonna graduate this year. So
I don't know, it kind of makes me think of like sororities and fraternities. Of like you're in it while you're like in college, so this is like a high school sorority, and then when you graduate, you're still technically in it, but you're not like active.
She's
you're
like an
not
alumni at that point in
yes,
time.
Yes, you're not an active member.
Well, she got to keep her jacket, and I thought you had to give your jacket up if you weren't a member anymore.
No, you still. I think when you graduate, you still get to be a pink lady, but you're not like actively a pink lady.
Hey Jeff, pink ladies are for life.
Yeah.
So the T-birds.
To be cool, to look cool,
to act cool.
When you're 38.
All right. So we go to the football scene, and everybody's practicing on the field, and I just this baffled me. Like, there's a big hole in the middle of the fucking football field, and they push the coach in, which he comes back to the coach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the fuck is there this big hole in the field? I don't know.
That's what they spent that $11 million on.
Yeah,
was digging that hole.
Fuck, we ran out of money. We can't afford the cement or the grass or whatever, the dirt. I don't know.
To push the coach into something, so they dug the hole.
Yeah.
So Craterface shows up. What the? I guess he just didn't graduate high school.
I'm guessing he wasn't. He was older than them in the first one. That's my guess. Like he definitely looked like he was much older than them in the first one.
Yeah.
So he's definitely even older now. Yeah, I'm willing to bet Craterface is 35 years old.
Yeah, I think he's 35 to 40. I
what
don't think he wasn't in their school in the first one, was
No,
he?
he was. It was like a rival gang.
No, he dated the girl from the other school, the whore from the other school.
Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha.
I'm the best dancer. Same from the dance.
But I just
Once again, another New York accent that doesn't make sense.
Right.
They call me Cha-Cha. I'm the best dancer. Same from
jeez,
the
but
dance.
yeah, it's like Craterface. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, did you just not graduate high school? Like,
these people just never leave their town.
but like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're 37 years old. Like, why? Like, why are you picking on these kids?
And on the first day of school, you and a gang of like 20 other motorcycles.
Yeah, they're on the track.
Come down the track.
That's
while kids
illegal.
are working, doing gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a bunch of
60-year-old
60-year-old kids are just like doing their jumping jacks, and then all of a sudden, like the pack of rats come in.
Can we also mention the fact that they all like when they're like finished with like their workouts for gym, they all put their leather jackets on.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red shirt, white and white shorts, and then put on their leather jackets and walk off.
Yeah, they always have those leather jackets close by.
No matter what.
All right, so we go to what is. I don't think it's the worst song. It's hilarious, but it's so like random. Like Bowl Tonight.
Oh,
We're gonna bowl tonight. We're gonna score tonight. This scene's ridiculous.
I have so many complaints about this scene.
All right, go. All right, go,
I
Jeff.
don't think that the people who were directing this movie have ever gone bowling.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
every time they go to bowl, they run 3 feet out into the middle of the lane and then let go of the ball. Everyone goes out.
Everyone knows the alarm will go off if you cross the line.
Or they'd slip
Or
and
you slip
fall.
and bust your
Yeah,
ass,
because
yeah.
it's supposed to be like heavily waxed except for the last 2 feet of the lane.
Or like the creative editing where she got on her hands and knees very seductively and rolled the ball, but it's clearly going to the gutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of speed up twirls.
Oh,
They
yeah.
speed up the
Yeah,
twirls.
yeah,
It was like
yeah.
ridiculously fast.
Yeah, interesting editing.
But I
Really
also,
light balls.
I also wrote
Yeah.
this. So Johnny, like the main guy from the new T-Birds.
Yeah. Johnny Nagarelli.
Johnny Nagarelli and Paulette, they kiss, and then like everybody's like watching creepily.
Even
Like
her
they-
younger sister. Her younger sister is like right up on their shoulder.
Her younger
Watching
sister
them.
is in
She
the
is
frame.
in the frame.
she's
Well, like
Yeah.
everybody just like gets so close to them and it's like
They got
watching
quiet.
them, and it's like,
Yeah, they
what
got-
the fuck are we doing?
Staring
Well,
at
it's
them
also
making out.
Johnny was like dating Michelle Pfeiffer.
Stephanie.
Yeah, Johnny was dating Stephanie like 5 minutes before that.
Well, yeah,
so-
so for their junior year, they were dating. She broke up over the summer. It came back because she's the head pink lady.
yeah.
And he's the head T-Bird. They were supposed to be together, but she was like, I'm an independent woman, and I can see where I want because it's 1961, and that's a thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, so she's like, I'm gonna kiss the next guy who comes in. So at first it's an old man, and I was like, dude, kiss the old man.
Yeah.
Make out with the old
hey,
man.
say what you mean, mean what you say.
And yeah, and the old man was like smiling, like you could tell, like probably his wife died or something. He's just ready to fuck.
wait. Yeah, let's get into the backstory of this old man.
I made one up for him.
His wife just died.
Yeah, he's smiling. His wife probably just passed away.
he
So-
goes to the bowling alley every Friday night to be around people because he's never around people very much.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking kiss this. Well, I guess he wouldn't be a boomer.
Yeah.
It's the '60s, but
Yeah.
they're the
Soon
boomers.
to be boomer. Or,
Yeah.
Hey, no, the Greatest Generation. You showed us.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
fought World War I.
So she's like, nah, I'm not gonna make out with this dude. And then Michael Carrington comes in and she like makes out with him, and everybody's just like, oh, what?
Can we also talk about the fact that Michael Carrington also like gender flipped the whole like, oh, he's so nerdy, but he's 6'2" with like piercing blue eyes and a chin that could like cut glass.
Incredibly good.
So
looking.
Incredibly good
Yeah.
looking,
So,
well dressed,
I think
Has a British accent.
and a British accent.
I think he's miscast Maxwell Caulfield.
Yeah.
They needed to go for like I'm not gonna say like an ugly dude, but like somebody who's like kind of sneaky hot. Somebody
They
who's
could
like
A normal looking
They
British.
could at least made him like have a hunch or like
I don't
like
know.
had bad like posture or some shit
Like
like that.
somebody
He's
who's
from
like
England and his teeth
They
are
could have gave him
perfect.
some
Yeah.
glasses.
somebody that's
Fuck
like
up his teeth.
somebody that's like more nerdy, I guess, and who literally becomes the cool writer.
And he's also a piano
You know what I
player.
mean?
Like this guy is like
Yeah.
incredibly attractive.
I would have actually really liked to see Grease 2 be like Eugene's swan song.
Yes, make Eugene the fucking cool writer. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
Molly, that would have got $390 million.
Yes.
Now that is a $390 million idea.
The guy who plays Eugene is like suddenly a star, and he's like in all these action movies. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
Like this was like his breakout role.
I would. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
Because Michael is way too fucking hot to be this person. And then also, like, if Stephanie wasn't into him, there'd be like 1,000 other women at school and teachers who would totally try to fuck Michael.
The next scene, I wrote this down. I'm your new substitute teacher, and like everybody immediately just walks out.
Yeah, they're like.
But to go back to Michael, so like he's so fucking talented and attractive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to fuck this dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to fuck Michael. I think it's been decided that everyone watching Grease 2 wants to fuck Michael.
Yeah, so he's like playing piano and like they're getting ready for the talent show, and then like so Stephanie's there and he's like, "Oh, are you free tonight?" And this is like my favorite line of the movie: "I'm free every day. It's in the Constitution."
Yeah. Whereas like it's a crowd of girls around him while he's playing piano, and they're all singing, like practicing.
Right.
In the middle of a rehearsal like that, would you really be like, hey, want to go out? Are you free? And like they're just having this full-on conversation in the middle of that.
While women are just singing,
At the same time, though, like she has no reason not to go out with him. He was like we just established.
He's not a T-bird.
She wants a cool rider, a cool.
Yeah.
So we get into that song, and she's like dancing around the backstage, and
Yeah, and I think Jeff made this point while we were watching it, that it's this big like rock ballad,
right?
And
it's like in one location, and it's just her.
She's just standing there holding her books, like for the whole.
Right,
first
it's
half
just
of the
Just
song.
singing at Michael. Michael's not even like a emoting. He's like singing.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for filming. They just filmed his side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, then she gets on this ladder, and she's like humping the ladder, and I want to be this ladder. Like, God damn. She's smoking. This is her first movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this is like her first breakout role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
breakout.
So she.
It must have been the next movie that made her big because there was not this.
She's so beautiful, and I remember the movie musical of Hairspray, which came out.
The John Waters movie?
This one. So Hairspray.
Oh, the new one
was the John Waters movie. Then they made it a Broadway musical. Then they turned the Broadway musical into a movie again. So it's like it came out in like 2006, I think.
Sure.
Oh, like the remake.
John Travolta.
Oh, is that what John Travolta plays?
He plays a woman.
Yeah, John Travolta's in it, and Michelle Pfeiffer is in it. She plays like the bitch mom. And I remember in that she's still like smoking hot.
She's 62.
Yeah, she's still very attractive.
She's still hot as fuck.
She can still get it.
Yeah.
All right, but so I wrote this down. Like, so Michael starts doing like essays for the T-Birds, and like we were talking about this, like he's doing these essays for him, and like they're only paying him like $1.
Everything in this movie costs like $1 to $3.
Yeah.
I saw nobody hand him more than 5 wrinkled up bills.
Right.
Single solo
He
bills.
only gets paid in ones, and they have to throw it at him. And
Yeah.
So this is 61. So like, okay, $5 for an essay. What would that be today? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. It's only $50 for a motorcycle. So.
oh yeah. So we're gonna get to that later.
Because he made enough money for doing essays to buy his own motorcycle that he started to fix up. So it wasn't even like he bought himself a new motorcycle.
Hey, he's like,
but he still was able to afford it.
hey, I got $26 worth of essay money. What can I get? You can get this brand.
Hey,
well,
kid,
brand new.
if you hang out in this junkyard and bang out some of these fenders that don't go on any spikes, I'll give it to you for $26.
All right. So the next thing I wrote down, the song of the movie, reproduction.
Oh.
Reproduction. So the nerdy girl's like, put your ball into work.
And she's doing this like fake jerk off move too.
Yeah.
The ball, like
That grossed me out. I don't know
My
why.
whole thing is like, so the thing about the song is the girls are the first ones that go with all the innuendo. And like the guys are like, yeah, but then when the guys go for their innuendo, all the girls are like, ew, like you bitches started it.
Yeah.
well, yeah, the
started
girls
this.
are like doing these fake jerk off moves, and everyone's doing innuendos. But then in the middle of the song, one of the lyrics, this guy like just goes on this ramble of like, have you ever one time been making out with a girl and you're sitting on the couch and you get a boner and you you don't even know it.
So Molly, I googled the actual lyrics because we always mess it up.
It's my favorite part of the song because it just doesn't fit. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
None of that song fits together.
Yes, but that guy clearly forgot his lines.
Well, but like the song has nothing to do with anything in the movie.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's that one kid in the class.
Well, none of the songs do, right?
It's that one kid in the class that, like, when there's a question asked and the kid, like, has his whole personal thing he has to get out. So he's like, I had nothing to do with this. So what about that one time when I figured out that girl and I have a friend that does this and they do that? Would it be okay?
So this is the actual lyrics. Is it possible the female member of some sex on accounts could like get this guy all hot and she never even knew it?
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
There's too many like words to fit the stanza. Like
That's all right.
This whole song is a ramble and then just a long, high-pitched note at the end.
Yes.
Oh, hey
It's just
guys.
a ramble.
So real quick, I looked up inflation from 1961 to now. So $100 in 1961 are equivalent to $863 today.
whoa,
So that's 100.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
$8.63 per dollar.
So $1 would be like $8.
So he did. So if he did five, he had $5. 5 times 8. What's that? 40? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So $40
Yeah,
for a paper, right? That's the most he got. Was $40 for one paper. That's not bad.
Okay,
High
all right,
That's pretty good,
all right. I
actually.
retract my statement.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad for high school.
I was
But it
gonna say
also
when I-
costs $1 to bowl. That's a little expensive.
Yeah, when I was
Actually, no, it's
Nickel
not
bowl.
because it'd be $8 today. So that's actually pretty good.
when I was in high school, I would
Yeah.
spend 8 hours a day working at a stupid, shitty fucking snowball stand and make like $20.
Right.
Well, yeah, like $20 for a high
Yeah.
school student is the best shit in the world. Like $20, I'm a fucking millionaire.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, Molly, another one of your favorite lines. I don't know if you said it. I got your pistol right here.
I got your pistol right here. It's like,
What are they talking about? This part's my favorite. So like after this song, like this girl comes up to the principal. She's like, "Oh, Miss Whatever, I missed my last 2 periods." And she's like, "Oh, it's okay, honey. You can make them up." And then she realizes like, "Oh, this bitch is pregnant." And then it's like, "Where does the pollen go?"
then-
Boing.
yeah, the teacher's just like,
Yeah.
All
There's a
right.
lot of cheesy sound effects in this movie.
Yeah.
So our boy Michael, he fixes up the bike, and then he starts practicing to become the cool rider.
And almost fucking kills himself in the process.
Yes.
He's riding in an empty field and is practicing wheelies before he's like actually learning how to
No,
ride the
he's
bike.
like, let me-
Like he's like, I'm gonna learn wheelies first.
Right, I'll start with wheelies, then I'll figure out the rest.
yeah, then
So-
I'll do breaks.
All right, so Crater faces his gang comes back to the bowling alley, and the T-Birds go outside and meet him. Dude, these T-Birds are embarrassing. They're so. Every one of them, I want to punch them in their face. They're the biggest pussies.
Oh yeah.
They have nothing on the
John
T-Birds.
Travolta would be so disappointed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would come back and beat all
He'd
their
beat them
asses
all up,
and
yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
Sandy in front of them.
I got your grease lighting right here.
So anyway, like they're pussing out,
Yeah.
and then the cool rider comes, and then we get, "Who's that guy? That guy? Where did he come from?"
Well, no,
Who's
I love
that
how it starts. It's
guy?"
like, ooh, who's that guy?
Yeah, the Sean Astin looking
Smooth.
dude. He's like, "Who's that guy wearing goggles? He looks like a man from outer space or something like that."
Yeah.
something, but he doesn't know.
But yeah,
space.
anyway,
Yeah.
the cool rider shows up, and all the women, they're just soaked.
Sliding around their seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes up to Stephanie, and he's like, "Hey, like, how about a ride?" And the cops show up, and he's like, "Maybe another time."
And then he rides his motorcycle on some dude's car. Like some dude was like, "What the fuck do I have to do with this?
Yeah.
I just came here to bowl. There's motorcycles in my car. What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
To be fair, that guy did park in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
in space
Yeah.
at all.
He fucking deserved it.
I'm pretty sure it happens every Friday. He's like, every Friday.
This is another one of my favorite scenes. So, like, they're in class again, and like, man, Michael just won't stop. He really wants to fucking ask Stephanie out, and then he's like, "Oh, Stephanie, have you ever read a Superman comic?" And she's like, "No, dude, fuck off." And he's like, "Oh, I was just checking." It's like so
So
random.
awkwardly walks away. Also, he doesn't look like a cool rider when he's in his getup. He has a helmet on.
That's
It's not cool.
That was the stunt man.
Yeah.
No, Jeff's
Yeah.
saying that doesn't look like a cool
He
book.
doesn't look cool.
Oh, I think he looks cool as fuck. Really?
I think that
He has a helmet on and goggles.
That was
Everyone
the
else,
60s.
right? No one wore helmets or goggles.
That's true. I guess he
That's
But he has,
everyone
like,
else is not wearing
I'm
helmets.
like,
he has to
you're
disguise.
right.
He has to disguise himself. Does he have to disguise himself?
No.
I feel like if they saw Michael coming up, Stephanie would change her mind immediately about him.
Right. He just needed a leather jacket and a motorcycle.
Okay, this next song. Let's do it for our country.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh, here
Oh,
we
man.
go.
Okay.
Well, also explain the fact that we were playing a drinking game while doing this.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's right.
One of the drinking rules is that if there's like a dude that tries to like sexually assault a woman, then we have to chug a whole beer.
The rule stated, if you had to finish your beer every time someone was getting tricked into losing their virginity by someone telling them there was a nuclear attack.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Because this whole song, they're like in a bunker,
Why
and
is
he
this?
gets his buddies
So
to
the
set off
bunker,
an alarm.
the bunker belongs to Michael's uncle. That's where he was staying at.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
stand.
he was staying in the
But
bunker.
then how did the T-Birds get access
Because they
to
knew
it?
about it because they asked him. Because remember he came to get his paper from there. He came. What's called the Mooch is such a predator. The Mooch is such a predator. He came and saw this bunker. He's like, "This is a good place to do some raping."
He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, here's what we'll do. I'll have my buddies set off some alarms that mean we're getting bombed, so that I can convince my girlfriend to fuck me because we might die.
He probably gave Michael like I don't know $3.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of what you would give someone to rent out their bunker.
Threw like a hot coin at Michael. Like, here, go get a soda.
The song starts with him,
America.
but first he literally is pinning her down on the bed, and she is saying, "No, stop." It like starts as a real rape scene.
Yeah, but then they sing,
And then
so
all of
it
a sudden
makes
he just
it
starts-
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes it okay.
Also, it was the
No,
80s.
yeah.
Rape was cool back in the 80s.
Yeah,
And not only this, the '80s playing the '60s, so
Right.
rape is even.
It's even super cool. Like rape is a cool writer.
Yeah.
Oh, rape. Rape is a cool writer.
Well, I thought this was funny. So like we were asking this during the movie, like why is Sharon bandaging Jamushi? She starts bandaging him. Like why? He's like,
Yeah,
she's
she's
just
like
sort of-
wrapping his head in this.
Look, man, if she was
band-aid.
dumb enough to think that it was actual nuclear war, she's gonna bandage someone's head.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, we thought it'd be funny if like in real time in the universe of the movie, like think about it. They're listening. They want to listen to them fuck,
Yeah.
but then they're just singing.
Yeah. Yeah. The
are
friends outside have like glasses to the door trying to listen
Yeah.
to listen
I like
to the
how-
fuck, and they just hear them being like, "Well, do it for the Statue of Liberty."
Yeah,
And for the
right.
Yankees.
Let's
The
do it
Yankees.
for our country.
Yeah, because they love the Yankees
Yeah.
in California.
In California / Chicago. Where are you people?
Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, you should be a fucking Cubs fan. What the hell?
What are you? Where are you?
All right, so that scene happened, and yeah, it doesn't age well.
It does not age well. She puts on a cape, and he puts on a helmet,
Yeah.
and then she takes off his helmet and bandages his head. Like, what kind of foreplay is this? What fucking kind of foreplay?
And then
is this?
all of a sudden she's like, they're about to have sex, and she's like, "This is really happening," and gets excited, and then just like, "Let's do this," and then she runs out the
Wow,
door.
Yeah, it's a nuclear attack when he was about the fucking bunker. He said the Russians are coming. The siren was for. There's a nuclear attack. Everybody back then knew, you kind of run up and cover. You stayed inside.
Right.
Like they had drills for that in the '60s. This bitch wants to get out and run away, like into the flames. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
To go have sex with the guy she's stuck in a bunker with. Like, I don't,
That seems weird. But then we go to
It does not age well.
No, it doesn't. It makes no sense. And then so we got Stephanie. She like leaves her job at the gas station to like hang out with the cool rider. And she's like making out with him like in front of his bike while he's riding it. That's hot.
She's on his bike and then turns around while mid-drive to face him on his bike.
oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
climbing over him.
Super dangerous. And she wasn't wearing it. So
Because she's cooler than Cool Rider.
Like Stephanie is like actually like if you look at it, she is the coolest person
For sure.
in the entire movie.
So he drops her off, and then Tamucci and Johnny, what's his last name? I keep forgetting.
Nagarelli.
Nagarelli, and then all the whole T-Birds, they see her.
Yeah, Johnny Ragu.
She's so fat, her pussy tastes like ragu.
God, you love that.
That's my favorite line from The Sopranos. All right, so anyway, they see him.
Except for the line is she's so fat her blood type's right.
Oh, that's right. I
Not
fucked
her
it up. I didn't
pussy
even get it
taste.
right.
Yeah, her pussy tastes like ragu.
Her pussy could taste like ragu. We don't know.
I mean, you took an already dick line and just made it
Yeah.
She's so fat her
Pussy
pussy
tastes like ragu. God damn.
Hey, sniff my fingers. It's spaghetti sauce.
Stop! Ew!
That dude's so fat he comes chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. I like the way you said
I like that. That was good, Angel. All right. So then we got Prowlin'. We got the song Prowlin'.
Yeah, back
Walk,
to business.
talk like a T-bird. I like this song.
I
I
like
don't
that song.
remember this song at all. What?
It's the one that it's when they're
Well, no, because remember, so
I think I was still in shock from the fucking singing rape scene.
No,
Yeah.
so Stephanie gets dropped off, and they're like, "This is some bullshit," because all the girls are mad at Johnny from being a dick because he's been a dick the entire movie.
Right.
So the guy's like, "Man, we need to get some action," and then Johnny's like, "I know the perfect place." It's talking about going to the grocery store to hit on women,
Yeah.
going prowling.
walk, talk
Like
like a
Prowlin'.
And
T-bird
then it really cuts into them practicing that song.
for the talent
At the
show.
talent
Yeah.
show.
Oh, okay.
So we got the tutor scene between Michael and Stephanie. I kind of like this scene. You know, like they're getting to know each other, and then but like Stephanie like puts a fuck ton of ketchup on this cheeseburger, and then like, hey, do you want
She
some?
drowns it.
She puts
Yes.
it like on the outside of the cheeseburger.
Like she might as well squeeze
Yeah.
it
She
on
did,
the top
yeah.
of the cheeseburger.
She like dips her cheeseburger like in the ketchup, and then she's like, hey, like Michael, do you want some? She like shoves it in his face.
And she's like, I love this character trait of her liking ketchup was like a big focus of the scene.
I'm pretty
Ketchup
sure like
and
Michelle
ketchup.
Pfeiffer was like, "I'll only do this movie if you guys let me put as much ketchup on
Like,
I want unlimited ketchup in this movie.
so much ketchup.
It's a New York thing.
it."
So like, yeah, he keeps fucking asking her out. She keeps saying no, and then we go into charades, which is the power ballad.
Charade.
Which is
it's
the hopelessly devoted. Yeah.
Hopelessly
Devoted.
devoted.
Yeah.
It's
But
that.
with like Michael singing it, it's way lamer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hot take. I kind of like charades.
Behind my charades.
Charades.
Yeah, at the very charades.
All right. So we had a question while we were watching this. So he's like in the lunchroom, and Michael's all sad. He's singing charades, and it's got a plate. Is this a big giant meatball or is this a meatloaf?
That was really the question.
If they're in New York, it's a meatball. If they're in California, it's meatloaf.
If
Right.
they're in Chicago, it's a
It's a
combination.
pizza.
It's a
of the
pizza. It's a chunk of deep dish pizza.
It was a deep dish meatball.
Oh, and to kind of piggyback on what Jeff was saying earlier, so he sits down, and this dude he sits down next to is 47 years old.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely the oldest.
He's got gray hair.
Yes.
He's got a
Dude.
bald spot. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many wrinkles on his face. Like he's clearly like he's older than would never John Denver done.
I don't know, man. In the 60s, they were just rough for kids, man. They just lived the rough
Yeah,
life.
they didn't know what sunblock was.
Yeah, there weren't as many like really good skincare products.
So this scene
And
also
they smoked in schools.
Yeah,
That's
they were
true.
smoking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
But they were smoking in schools the entire time. They smoked everywhere they go.
Yeah. By the time they're seniors, they look 10 years older than
Yeah.
they should be.
Right.
So it makes sense. Okay. So I stand corrected. All right.
No, he's still like 50.
Yeah, the guy at the lunch table was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
even older than anybody else.
And it's also like tiny tables.
Yeah, that's my next point.
Cartoons on the wall.
Where are they? Are they at an elementary school?
They clearly filmed this scene at an elementary school cafeteria.
Yeah.
It's like very small.
Okay, so then Cool Rider, he like meets up with Stephanie at the talent show, and then they like start chasing him, the T-Birds, and then he like rides off a cliff for some reason.
He jumps. They chase him, and he eventually jumps a cliff that like they're like, that's gonna be like 300 yards.
Yeah, they're like, there's no
I
way
still
you
want to
made
know
it.
how. Like, what did he do? Do you think he went up there with his bike to make the tire track marks and then just kept driving?
I think, well, no, because I think at the very end when they show him jump in the pool, that's to signify that he can make that jump.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so he jumped the ravine.
So yeah, he.
God, this movie's
yeah.
so clever. So many layers.
He jumps the ravine, but what it appears is that the T-Birds have committed murder essentially, and
Yeah.
they're all.
Well, they keep trying to justify like, he makes those kind of jumps all the time. He made it.
He tried to steal my girl. He deserved it.
Also, like, well, we just chased him. He didn't have to jump.
I am on the T-Bird side. Why did he
That's
jump?
true.
Right,
Yeah, I
sure.
don't think that they had any. No,
I think they'd be all
they
right
were not
for it.
at fault.
It's manslaughter at most.
Do you think that ravine was the LA River from the first movie? I mean, the Chicago, Brooklyn River.
The Chicago.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So then we go to the talent show, and then like Johnny, all of a sudden, like backstage, is being a conservative dad, telling Paulette to like put clothes on. What's
Yeah,
up with that
Paulette.
scene?
One thing about like the talent show when they do their song, they have like one of my favorite lines of the song.
What is it?
When they do Proud, and he's like, and they're talking about the kind of girls they like, and like, yeah, I like a girl who's really smart, but also really stacked.
Really?
Yeah, but Johnny, I guess this is to signify that Johnny's like kind of starting to like Paulette. I don't know, but it was really weird. He's like, put some clothes on.
You're gonna be winter, put some galoshes and a cape.
He starts dressing her,
Yeah.
puts a boa over her. I don't know, very weird. But then we get Girl for All Seasons is the name of the song. I'll be yours and when.
So yeah, this
I don't
part,
know who May was.
This part is crazy.
Oh, it's a dream sequence.
She like totally zones out and just kneels down center stage and starts singing like a totally different song.
Remember,
And it's just like
I love
and
you.
she's just remembering like all the stuff her and Cool Rider did together, which is like they hung out one time.
Yeah,
And then-
That's true.
and then the
She
dream
rode on
sequence-
his bike for
Yeah.
like 10 minutes
Yeah.
once.
Like,
And,
They didn't talk.
in the dream sequence, they're like wearing silver.
yeah.
Like everything is clouds.
Yeah.
Like this is heaven. This is where he is now.
Yeah.
And it's a mountain full of wrecked bikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of all the bikes that didn't make that jump.
Yeah.
And
right.
then they like win
Right.
the talent show and they get the award and stuff, and she's just still kneeling there, staring off into nowhere, like while everything else is just like still happening around her.
She's clearly having a mental break.
She's having a moment for sure. And everyone's just kind of like, all right, I guess that's just what she does now.
I was still trying to figure out what May was dressed up as at that point, because all the women in this this number are dressed as, they have a different month on them,
Yeah.
and they're dressed as that month.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
like-
May was dressed like a jester.
Well, so I saw, we couldn't figure it was. We were like, was it Memorial Day? Because she had like a cone hat that had streamers from it,
Right.
and the cone had like stripes on it that were like blue.
You know what she
and
was?
orange.
She was a maypole.
She was a
May with all the
maypole.
ribbons.
Yeah.
Is that-
And the kids
is that-
walk around
Is
it.
that like some white stuff?
Yeah.
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 I have no idea what
It's
that
just
is.
a pole with like ribbons that come
And
through it, and you kind of
children-
like weave your
Yeah,
way.
you like everyone holds a color ribbon and you kind of like walk in a circle around the pole and weave your ribbons around each other. And
I don't know
Yeah.
what the point is.
actually, yeah, it might be the whitest thing in the world, truly.
You just-
But
yeah.
yeah, she was.
She was a
maypole.
She was a
Maypole,
maypole.
okay. There were some also inconsistencies. Like one of the girls was like August, and she was a baseball. And like baseball's almost over with in August.
Yeah.
When she'd been like
Well,
April.
they're chicks. They don't know sports.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe in the 60s there's a different schedule.
But you're doing it for the Yankees.
Yeah, it's for the
Yeah.
Yankees.
Or the Cubs,
No,
maybe.
Or the
no,
Dodgers.
they
Oh, the
specifically
Dodgers?
said the
Yeah.
Yankees.
They definitely said they were doing it for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, in California.
So we got the senior year luau. Everybody, you guys had that, right? Your senior year, a luau, right?
The luau, where like everyone's cheering for the teachers, and like I'm like, this whole movie they disrespect the hell out of these teachers, and then all of a sudden the teachers walk into the luau and everyone's like, yeah.
Was the vice principal, the principal, and then the head football coach.
And Mr. Spears comes back, guys. Mr. Spears.
comes back.
And then he like falls down and
He
dies,
dies twice
again,
in the
and then he
end.
also
Yeah.
drowns.
He
Yeah, he
drowns.
drowns.
Yeah, so Michelle Pfeiffer and Johnny are stuck on this raft in the middle of a pool that was like not like they have paddles and stuff, and the
But they
two of
can't
them are
move
just
somehow.
like, oh, like we can't do it, and it's like,
Yeah, they keep paddling towards each other on the same
Yeah.
raft, so
They-
it doesn't move anywhere.
they just like keep like throwing a fit that they're stuck on this raft together when really like the edge is right there.
Yeah, it's not that far. And
Really?
even if so, you could like get off into the pool. Like you
Yeah.
get like a
Yeah.
little wet for a second. It's not gonna
Right,
be there.
right.
You don't have cell phones. It's 1961.
Right, and
It's
you're
not in
half
your
naked.
pocket, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like shirtless or something.
So then the big part of the
Oh, so
We're
Crater.
skipping a very important part.
What's that?
when it first goes to this luau,
The Rock of Luau.
they're singing.
Yeah, it's just
it's clearly trying to do the like.
It's-
we go together, like-
Yeah, the carnival. Yeah, the carnival.
They're singing in gibberish, very similar to the wap bop numa a wap bamboo.
Yeah. We go
Yes.
together like sham bam bam
Yes, they're doing like the
Shoo-ba-da-doo.
same thing, but in luau outfits.
and and it makes it way more racist too because they're like making fun of like
They're
Hawaiian people.
yeah, like
So if you forgot about
What's the fish? Molly, say the fish name.
huma huma nuku nuku puaha.
Yeah. Real fish in Hawaii.
So I feel like the movie just forgets
See
about
that.
Craterface, and then he shows up at the end and starts like causing ruckus.
Yeah, he's like that, and not even
What is their goal? I don't know what
to
their.
terrorize teenagers.
Dude,
He is so not even like part of this movie.
No,
and he just shows up and like wrecks stuff with his
Parents in the town like warn the kids like, "Hey, you better eat your broccoli." I'm called Craterface.
Yeah, right?
Craterface shows up.
Scary. You say his name 3 times in a mirror and he appears.
He shows up with his motorcycle gang.
he's the white person's Candyman.
Yeah.
So Cool Rider returns and he saves the day by like I guess I don't know riding around the bad gang. And,
Yeah, I don't know.
They
Cool
like
Rider.
destroy this place. They're flying through walls when they
Yeah, they're
drive.
breaking the fake like bamboo stuff. And
Yeah.
then Michael shows. First of all, Michael is on top of like one of the like constructions
Oh yeah.
with his, like his sleeves cut off. Apparently, when you jump a ravine, you lose your sleeves.
Yeah, when you die and come back, you have except Mr. Spears, he didn't come back.
He didn't come back at all. No.
Yeah.
But no, so Michael jumps off of like everyone's like freaking out, and he appears, and everyone's like, "Oh, Cool Rider!" And he jumps off the structure onto his bike, and then takes off and starts, I guess, challenging them.
Yeah.
Craterface's gang.
Scares him
The
away.
Scorpions. That's what they were doing.
So
There's scorpions.
Oh yeah, that's right. So he wins the good faith of the T-Birds, and they give him a jacket. And first of all, Michael, don't you take that fucking jacket because you deserve better than the T-Birds. These T-Birds are embarrassing.
None of them can ride motorcycles like you can. None of them are as cool as you can. None of them are smart.
Two of them share a motorcycle.
You haven't tried to rape anybody
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah, one of the T-Birds doesn't have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He just rides.
He just
in the
rides
middle.
in a sidecar. Well, maybe like because he's clearly younger because he starts the very end dating Dolores, so he's clearly younger. Maybe he isn't the age.
But he graduates with them.
You're right. He does jump at the end.
Yeah.
How old is that girl?
Oh yeah. So
Unless
Also,
he's
though,
a super smart
how
T-Bird.
did
He
they-
skipped so many grades.
How did they come up with that extra T-bird jacket on the fly?
He took Johnny's because she was holding.
Oh, okay.
Someone was holding his while he was in the luau, while he was underwater. That's why he went. Well, I guess if he had his jacket, he could have just jumped in the water. He didn't want to do it leather.
so we get the last song of the movie. We'll be together, and then we get
Like
like
Shambam Bada-dee-da-boo-da-boo-ba-da.
and then Demucci is like, "Will I ever score?" And then this chick's like, "There's nothing wrong with just liking each other."
She's like, "No, we're never gonna have sex. We are
I'm
never."
never going to that.
Isn't that opening line like, I think you're fine. Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
I
what a
think
nice
you're fine.
love song.
I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
And then we get a cheesy,
It's like romantic, dude. I think you're fine. That's okay.
graduation jump freeze frame. They all jump at the screen.
Also,
I wanted that.
Can we
I
go
needed
back to real quick the fact that they're in the pool, and Michael jumps the pool, but they're not in the pool.
No, that's right. The raft is
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's a scene where Michael jumps the pool, which I said like kind of shows that he was able to make jump the ravine. So Johnny and Stephanie are in the pool, and one scene, and then they cut to him jump in the pool. They're not in the pool. Nobody's in the pool. He jumps in the pool, and they cut back, and they're back in the fucking pool.
Right. And when did they drag Spears
Oh,
out of the...
You could say they're back in the pool. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. All right, so that was Grease 2. That was Notes.
There we go.
And trivia is fun. I found a lot of interesting tidbits.
I'm
Oh,
excited.
wow.
So
Ready for tidbits.
the original title of this was called More Grease.
Even greasier.
So
Grease too.
so then they
Even
so
greasier.
they changed it. Yeah, call it Greasier.
Yeah, greasier.
Too greasier.
Are we gonna start a Grease franchise with The Rock? He shows up in Grease 5, Grease Forever.
So they changed it to Grease 2. Maxwell Caulfield hated the title, and he lobbied for them to change it to Son of Grease, which makes no sense because there's
Son of Grease.
Son of Grease. Maybe that's where Sons of Anarchy got their name.
Hey, can we use that the rejected title for Grease 2 and just call it Sons of Anarchy?
We got motorcycles.
That's true. Ooh, do you think this was the basis for Sons of Anarchy?
I think so.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
Didi Khan, who plays Frenchie, she was supposed to be in the movie More. And so when this movie started...
I was like, a different movie called More?
That's what I thought, too.
Was she turned down a different movie to be back in Grease 2?
She just loves playing Frenchie, man.
Come see More this Friday, opening in theaters, starring Didi Khan.
You know me as Frenchie.
So she was supposed to be in the movie More. And when they started filming the movie, they didn't have a finished script. So
shocker.
So they right. So then halfway through, she was filming her scenes, and then halfway through, they're like, "Oh, we don't need you anymore, Frenchie." So that's why she exits the movie.
Oh, poor Frenchie.
I feel
bad. But they didn't write an exit for her.
No, they
didn't.
Disappears. She just
right?
disappears.
Well, also you think about from Grease 1. In Grease 1, all the pink ladies had a boyfriend. Whatever happened to that dude
Frenchie.
that dude did he move on? Did those T-Birds go to college?
Those T-Birds did not go to college. There's no way.
No, they flew off in the car.
Yeah, they.
But
that's what I was hoping. When I heard
everybody was in the trunk and they all flew off.
They're in space, guys. Come on.
When I heard that there was Grease 2, I thought it was going to be way more like Flubber. Flubber? You remember Flubber?
Wait,
I remember
the flying car.
Was gonna be more like.
Do you think Johnny?
I thought it was going to be like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I thought there's gonna be like the Jetsons. There's gonna be lots of flying cars.
Did you think Danny and Sandy went to space and started their own colony?
Yeah.
Just had Grease.
Yeah, and they had
greased
a
out
robot maid.
What's funny that you brought up hey, did they end up going to college? Originally, there was supposed to be a cameo for Kaneki, and he was supposed to be the manager at the bowling alley. So these guys grew up to do nothing. And I also looked into this too.
So
originally,
sad.
when they wanted John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John to be in it, they were going to be in charge of the gas station. They worked at the gas station.
Oh,
they ran.
Wow.
I really no disrespect to people who work at gas stations, but if you fly up in a car when you're a teenager, that is the peak of your life.
So that's where their car went. They were going to space, and then they ran out of gas, and then they just decided to run the gas station.
Man,
oh my
that's
gosh.
so horrible.
Run the gas station? Not even anything cool.
Not a bunch of gas stations, just that one gas station.
Make them a teacher or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have them as teachers or have them run. Sandy's a teacher. Sandy is a teacher, and Danny runs the diner or something.
How about Danny is the track coach? We know Danny got a letter in track.
He did. My whole thing is, why don't they show Sandy 20 years later, 5 kids with Danny just really regretting I was such a nice little British Australian girl. I had my future ahead of me, and then I started smoking cigarettes and wearing leathers.
And now I run a gas station.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer and Maxwell Caulfield, they did not get along during filming.
He seems like a prude.
Well, so Maxwell said oh, we got along infamously. And then she said he was infamously.
So that's bad.
That's bad. And then Michelle Pfeiffer said that he was self-adoring. So I think he was a big prick.
If I looked that good, I'd be a piece of shit too.
Well, it's kind of interesting. So
he looks better than him?
Oh, now, yeah.
I'm saying then too.
Debatable. I think if I look like that dude, I would be a piece of shit. Honestly, I would be a horrible person.
You look like a douchebag.
So Maxwell Caulfield, he had an interesting quote. He was like, before Grease 2 came out, I was being held as the next Richard Gere or John Travolta. However, when Grease 2 flopped, nobody would touch me. It felt like a bucket of cold water had been thrown in my face. It took me 10 years to get over Grease 2. He never really had a big career.
No,
he did Empire Records.
Yeah,
he was Rex Manning.
Rex Manning.
Yeah.
Was that before or after Grease 2?
That was after Grease. Yeah.
That was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Which Empire Records, that movie does not hold up. That is the most melodramatic fucking movie.
I saw it then, and I can't tell you what it's about now. Besides the fact I know it's in a record store. But
Yeah, that's all I
liked
remember.
So
don't they hold up like
I like it. Yeah.
So yeah, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, they met with the studio to reprise their roles, and then they weren't pursued further after the initial conference. I don't know if they just didn't want to be in the movie.
I'm pretty sure they called John Travolta and he was like,
yeah, he's like, are you?
Just hung up. Yeah, just hung up. Yeah.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh,
I'm gonna go suck someone's dick at the gym.
I found. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my pilot's license and molest a younger man in the gym.
Or in the air.
Or in the air. Yeah. I got better things to do.
Guys, I got face off to make.
hey, that was
I can't be bogged down by greases.
Original plans. So this was supposed to be like a cinematic universe. They were gonna do like a Grease movie every year, and then they were gonna do like a TV show. Like it was supposed to be this big thing, this big franchise.
That'd been amazing.
And then this movie bombed, and then they were like, nope. And supposedly, I found this out on IMDb. I don't know how true it is. They had a script for the third movie, and that movie later ended up being High School Musical.
Whoa!
What? Didn't the choreographer?
Whoa!
The choreographer was like the same.
I think it is. It's the same choreographer. I think.
And they filmed. I think in the high school they used in the first Grease, they used for High School Musical.
And I also think Grease Live actually. They did how they do the live stuff now.
Yeah.
Grease Live, a couple years ago, was directed by the same director as High School Musical.
And I think the lead girl from High School Musical, they used her as
was in Grease. Yeah.
Was Sandy. Yeah. So.
There's a lot of connections there. Yeah.
I got another crazy fact. Tom Cruise auditioned for the role of Johnny Nagarelli.
Holy shit.
But the director wanted someone older and taller. Sorry, I only have 37-year-olds playing high school students.
Yeah.
No, because he would have been perfect at age-wise because he just did all the right moves around that same time he played a high school student.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
he probably looked too young compared to all the other 90-year-old high school students.
He dodged a bullet. I'll tell you that.
Can you picture? Well, so here's the thing: Tom Cruise was in Rock of Ages. I haven't seen it, but he can't sing.
Yeah, but I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer did, and so did she. Turned out.
Russell Crowe is in Les Mis. It doesn't mean you can sing if you get cast in a fucking movie.
That's crazy. Like, imagine if he got the role, and this movie bombs. Like, he probably doesn't have the career he has. He probably doesn't go on to do Mission Impossible. He probably doesn't go on to do Top Gun and all these movies.
Maybe this movie's actually good though.
I like Tom Cruise. I'm a big Tom Cruise guy.
Mission Impossible suck.
I'm kind of tired seeing him be an old man, beat up the world. Tom Cruise at this point in time.
But he still does it so well.
He does it and better than anybody his age has ever done it. But it's still at this point in time, it's like, come on, man.
Well, he's like 57 or 58, but he looks like he's 39.
Because he's 5 feet tall. Everyone's like, that's a child.
I like his 80s and early 90s movies, but as far as all the Jack Reachers and Mission Impossibles, they're fun to watch, but I've never really gotten into them. I got the first Mission Impossible 2, and even Mission Impossible 3. Really enjoyed, but ever since then, it's kind of the same way how they talk about how what's his name in Die Hard has become Super Cop. He was just a regular spy, and now he's
John McClane.
Yeah, John McClane. Yeah, so.
That's crazy. So Johnny Nagarelli was originally intended to be the cousin of Danny Zuko from the first film.
So they just were they're all cousins. Everyone's cousin.
Everyone with an Italian last name is cousin.
Well, they were you know what? There's we already have Sandy, related to Michael.
So we'd be hey, your cousin's fucking my cousin. Awesome.
Yeah, hey, cousin fucking. I love it.
I love it. What we do in Brooklyn or Chicago.
Also, did you guys realize that they made Grease 2 into a stage musical? It was called Cool Rider.
It was called Cool Rider.
No, but I would definitely go see that.
Also,
for sure.
This is kind of trivia more about the first movie, but I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Paramount just announced a prequel to the original film entitled Summer of Lovin', and it's about how Danny and Sandy met.
Oh, so
we saw them at the beach.
But I guess it's everything leading up to that.
We don't need a whole fucking response to the song "Tell Me More."
Yes, we do.
They answered the question.
Well, we need to know if she put up a fight.
We do need to know if she put up a fight. Were you in a bunker and did she put up a fight?
Oh my God, what if that's how it went down?
That's
That'd
how
be
they
awesome.
met.
He told her it was gonna be nuclear war. Yeah, probably.
All right, guys. Categories. What's the best scene of the movie?
Best scene?
Yes.
Ooh.
I love We're Gonna Bowl Tonight.
It's fun.
I love a zany bowling alley scene. Like in Across the Universe, there's a scene in a bowling alley. I like a bowling alley scene. I think they're fun. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I like the bowling scene.
I've always liked that. To me, it's either I love the opening scene, the back to school, because I think that song's a bop, or reproduction, like when they're classroom for reproduction.
Yeah, reproduction is
Absurd.
Yeah,
So
it's all over the place.
It
I love it.
That's my favorite scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like the song is bad, and it's just like, why is this in the movie?
The song is so long too. Like it feels like a very long scene.
And you know what? It's kind of funny. I noticed watching that scene. Like you can tell like Maxwell Caulfield and like Michelle Pfeiffer, like they're not really singing in the scene. They're kind of in the background.
Well, because he's like bopping his head,
they're half-assing it, and you can tell like they're embarrassed to be in this movie.
Yeah.
True.
Well, okay. Were you gonna say something?
I was just trying to think of a different scene besides reproduction, since it was already picked. Probably the scene where she is putting so much ketchup on her burger. That's a great scene.
Oh my gosh.
Worst scene.
Oh, same answer.
Every best scene is also the worst scene.
Right.
Same answer.
So I do like Charade, but Charade is probably the worst scene because he's just like aimlessly walking around the school.
Charade is pretty boring.
Like these
I
type of
hated
lockers,
that part.
just, yeah.
It's pretty boring.
God.
I think the worst scene for me is when she is singing Cool Rider, just the first half of the song where she just stands there with her books singing this power ballad for
Right.
with no movement.
It's very awkward.
Like until she starts walking and like doing, the move in the ladder and stuff. That's all cool. But the start of that song is just like,
It's just her just
what are
talking.
you
Right.
doing?
Move
Just
a
singing
little.
at him,
Yeah.
I think
And the talent show scene,
I don't really care for that talent
I think it's
show,
boring.
and I really don't like the scene where like Johnny all of a sudden becomes a conservative parent
the talent
to his
show.
girlfriend.
I don't like the
sucked
fact
up.
that they did the talent show. Like they did their best talent show when they were showing them like rehearsing. Like the guys when they did prowling. So they talk about going prowling because they're predators, and then they cut to them practicing, and the practice shows like with the women in the back with the grocery store items and stuff like that. So they do that for like the rehearsal, but then when they go to do the actual talent show, all you see them is in the pink sweaters that they stole in the very end of the song.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah, like so you
all the production
value
for the
was
actual
for
thing.
it was for the
They ran
rehearsal.
out of money.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we can't blow our budget on the talent show. We
can't.
have a luau coming up.
Yeah. No, the talent show I just found boring. The song, the dream sequence where his hands
I didn't like it.
They
It's
spent
so
all their money
cheesy.
on the silver lever.
And the like 500 bikes stacked on top of each other.
Like, we need you guys to crash all these bikes and then paint them white.
Okay, a best quote. For me, it's easy. Quote, I'm free every day. It's in the Constitution.
My favorite quote from the movie is, "Have you ever
Yeah.
been sitting on a couch and she didn't know it?"
No way. I like cheese ketchup on the outside of my cheeseburger.
Jeff is stuck on the ketchup.
No, probably the her first line when she's like, "Keep the nose, lose the face." Like,
It really starts off with a bang.
yeah, that's
You're
great.
like, what?
I already said mine, but it's definitely I like a girl who's really smart, but also really stacked.
Oh, wait, I'm going to do an audible last minute. Will I ever score? Sometimes it's better to just be friends, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, that's good.
No, like the phrasing of those
Oh, no.
songs at the end, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with just liking each other. That's mine.
There's so many in that.
Or like
song.
when he says like it's like well, she says I am what I am and that's what I am. I hope that's enough. He's like, I like that you got. I guess it's okay. He's like, I like what you got. I guess it's okay.
Yeah, the little head nod. Oh my god.
Gotta show it. I was like, what a piece of shit. That changed my mind. That's my favorite.
It's like, I guess I can't fuck Michelle Pfeiffer. I guess you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Best performance. This is a no-brainer. Michelle Pfeiffer. I think. Michelle Pfeiffer, best performance.
Michelle
She's
Pfeiffer.
pretty cool in this movie.
I like her character a lot.
She's the
I like
only
her accent.
Yeah, she's honestly the only character in the movie who I'm like, oh, she's cool. Like,
Well, yeah. She's the only one that she's the only one that's like clearly like talented like actor.
Right.
But I do love how piece of shit Johnny Knocker.
Yeah, he's fun. I'd say Mr. Spears.
Yes.
Like, wow, you had to do 3 death scenes in one movie. That's talent right
yeah.
Yeah, you had to do the most offensive fucking portrayal of somebody with late-term Parkinson's.
When he's
there.
like,
Was he identified to have that?
I don't know. I just said
You
it.
He's
assume.
just like shaking and chugging pills.
I think he's
Right.
just an alcoholic or a pillhead.
Yeah.
He's just shaking he's holding 2 drinks. He's holding 2 drinks, violently shaking.
Right, and just trying to put pills
He's
in his
popping
mouth.
pills in the middle of class. I think he's an addict.
All right, guys. What about the worst performance?
You know
This is
who
tough.
bothers me? Fucking Dolores.
Upchuck, yeah, Dolores is pretty
Upchuck?
bad.
Yeah.
Which one's
I
the
kind of
worst?
like the little
Their
girl.
little sister, what's the name? The one that is okay, her sister.
I think it's because I the one with the pigtails. I think I just don't like her because I was always the annoying little sister, and I see myself in her, and I just reject her.
Like, I think she's gonna make a really horrible pig lady in like
Yeah.
4 years.
She
Yeah.
is the voice of Bobby Hill on King of the Hill. Pamela Alden.
Nice.
She did a lot of stuff with Louis C.K. On his show,
Bummer.
which got canceled.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's probably seen
Worst
Louis
actor?
C.K.'s
That's
hit.
what I'm
Yeah,
I don't know
worst performance.
Jeez.
You know who sucked in this movie too?
Shooter Mc-
Frenchie sucked.
Oh,
She wasn't in
You
enough
shut
for
your
this
mouth.
stuff, yeah.
You shut your mouth.
Well, she's so good. She's like such a sweetheart of the first movie, and
Right.
now in this movie, I think actually, yeah, it's not her fault. That's the writers.
Yeah,
fault.
they cut her out of it.
They
She
gave
wasn't
her
in.
garbage to work with.
The last time we really see her talk is when they're in the chemistry room,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
hears about him being a cool writer.
And she leaves. And she says, "All right, Michael, tell me about the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm out."
I did the exposition.
Gotta
Okay.
go.
I don't know. I think the girl who almost got raped is probably the worst one.
She's bad.
Oh yeah, she's annoying.
And-
Like, she's very annoying.
Also, she had it coming.
well,
Hot take. She had it coming.
No, I'm kidding.
had,
I'm kidding.
had
I-
me
she
calling
didn't.
her the worst actor coming?
yeah.
Is that what you meant?
That's what I meant.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Did you say yours?
No, so it's the one that it's not Goose. It's the T-Bird who doesn't have a motorcycle. Who rides in the fucking side.
Sean Astin looking like?
Yeah, Sean
Yeah.
Astin looking motherfucker. He was the worst. He had the worst performance.
Okay, guys. The
Yeah.
guy who plays Shooter McGavin from
That's
Happy
Goose.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
Goose. I think he's the worst. He's a horrible singer. Remember the beginning of Prowlin'? Give us something, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us, Johnny?
Why don't you tell us, Johnny?
And he's
Like,
like, Johnny.
he's such a bad singer, and like it just, I don't know. He just looks like he doesn't belong.
They needed one person
In
to
the
say, "Where does the pollen go?"
Was
He's
that
the
him?
only- Yeah, he's the only one that had
He,
the voice.
yeah,
for it.
yeah, he had it.
Yeah.
He was their baritone.
All right,
But he
so
couldn't do anything else.
He can't do
besides that.
anything else.
Where does the ball
last category, best song.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
Now, here's the thing: do we play it?
Actual best.
Now
song?
do we do actual best song? Okay, how about we do this? Actual best song, and then just like
Your favorite song.
our favorite song.
Well, yeah, because reproduction is obviously.
Like
That's my favorite.
That's my
But it's
favorite.
not a good song.
It's the worst
at all.
song, but it's my favorite.
It makes no fucking sense, and I love it.
I'm gonna go with Cool Rider. I think that's the best song.
Cool Rider's catchy as hell.
I
Cool
think,
Rider when she's humping the ladder?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking the one where they're saying the Who Is He one. I think that's my
Who's
favorite.
Who's
guy?
that?
Who's that guy? I like the vibe. of
Where
it.
did he come from?
It's catchy. It's the only catchy song.
I think Back to School.
Back to School's
Back to
catchy.
School
Like
was
to
good
me,
too.
Back to School, like as far as like to me objectively, is like the best written song. It's got like this really cool like
Oh, I wanna go.
like it's got this really kind of like funky vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like my favorite song, like said reproduction to Cool Rider. Shit, out of all like the really weird bad songs, I like
Do it for America.
I like
Do it for a country.
it's like her performance is weird, but I do like Hands in Time. Except for when they're duetting, like
Remember, I love you. Whoa, whoa. Oh, I would have changed my best one. Charades, clearly.
You do like charades.
Behind my charades.
No, objectively to me, it's Cool Rider.
I think Back to School's fun.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that.
sticking with who is that guy.
All right, guys.
That guy.
So, okay, we're going to wrap up, but I have to do this last category. And it is, we got to, because you guys are, how embarrassing people are on here, we have to do Fuck, Marry, Kill, Raise.
Okay.
So,
With the entire cast?
the entire cast, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Raise.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll go first.
Okay.
If no one else is ready.
No, I'm not ready. I'm really
Okay.
not ready.
Okay.
I'm for sure fucking Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
given.
no. That's a
She's
no-brainer.
cool. She's smoking hot. I'm gonna marry. I think I'll probably marry Johnny Nagarelli. That is
What? Yeah.
He's my type.
You like getting abused?
Yeah, he's kind of a dick. I don't know.
You
I
like
him.
controlling abusive assholes?
Or you know who I would marry? Actually, I would marry the guy that ends up dating Dolores, the sidecar guy.
Oh,
Sean
Sean
Astin?
Astin.
I'd marry him.
Davey, that was his name. Davey Jaworski.
Yeah.
He was a Polak.
I would marry Dolores' boyfriend. I think I would kill the rapist.
That's a good call.
Yeah,
This
because
seems
I don't know. Like,
good.
I feel like rape even in 61 wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Rape, I think, has never been that
Yeah, it's
cool.
never been-
never been.
Yeah,
The Moochie's got to go.
yeah
It's-
Damucci's got to go.
It's never been a cool rider.
Later, Mooch.
The
And
mooch,
then I'm
the
gonna
mooch.
raise Frenchie because she just, I don't know.
She
seems like
needs
a
to get her
good
life
chick.
together.
Use a friend, I think.
Yeah, I think guidance would be good for her.
Okay, I think I just figured out mine. Okay, no brainer. Michelle Pfeiffer. She is smoking hot. I think she's one of the hottest actresses. She's like top 10 for me. I think all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking her. I'm gonna kill. Okay, so Damucci. He did try to rape someone. I guess I have to kill him. Yeah.
Sure.
Or you could raise him and teach him better.
You know what? I'm gonna raise Damucci. I'm gonna teach
That's
him.
probably a good one.
I'm gonna teach him to ask first.
Right. To
Right.
not
Teach him consent.
to not fake a global extinction event.
not to fake a nuclear war
Just to get laid.
just so you can get laid.
You could ask nicely.
I have to kill Nagarelli. He has the most punchable face. He's a top 10
Right.
punchable face all time.
Right.
He's very obnoxious, and I hate his hair. I hate everything about him. And then what was it? Fuck, marry. Oh, who would I marry? Oh, this is tough. You know what? I feel like I probably would marry. Yeah, I guess I have to do the Cool Rider, Michael, because he's very talented. He's very smart.
Michael.
He seems like he'd be good at
You can play the piano.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ride motorcycles. Play
Yeah.
piano.
He can play you music.
He could wear a hell of a sweater.
Oh, and
dope ass
goggles.
sweaters.
Yeah, he would teach me.
Goggles.
I mean, he'd teach me fashion and stuff.
Yeah.
So I bet
He does have nice sweaters.
He's
He
so
does.
good looking too.
Yeah.
It takes a strong jawline to pull off goggles. So
Yeah, but you didn't fuck him.
yeah, well, I had other plans. Okay.
Okay, my turn. Shit. I'm going to marry.
Damucci.
No. I can't remember Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Definitely.
You don't want to fuck her?
No, I want a trophy wife.
Okay.
I
All
want
right.
I want
all
a
right.
nice
That's
hot
fair.
beard.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then I'll fuck Sean Astin look like. So
Okay.
I always thought Sean Astin was kind of attractive.
Even in the Lord of the Rings, huh?
No, his hair's dumb in that movie.
Oh,
So, like, Rudy
So
Sean
Rudy,
Astin?
Sean Astin.
Rudy?
He was in the movie Rudy.
Oh, I never saw Rudy.
Dude, wait. Are you talking about Goonie, Sean Astin?
I'm talking about little child Sean Astin.
Little baby Sean Astin.
Little baby.
Little 5-year-old Sean Astin.
Okay, I'm going to kill Mr. Spears because he'll just come back right away anyway, so I
And
won't
he
get
is
charged
a
for it.
demon.
And then I will raise Crater Face so that I can teach him to stop fucking picking on high school kids. You're 35, dude. You're a fucking loser.
You're right. Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
All right, I
Bam.
guess.
That was good. I like that.
So I'm going to fuck the the teacher, the one with the large breasts.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
good
a
choice.
nice one.
Fucking the large teacher with large breasts.
Because she's smart and stacked.
Yeah. So Mary, my choice, I had two ones either I was gonna marry. Either I was gonna marry the vice principal, because she seems like she's like a solid
The one that died after the filming of this movie.
Yeah, the one on the telephone, because she was so supportive of everything.
I was
Okay.
saying, she seems like she can cook a good meal.
very nice.
Or the pink lady with the nose. Her name was
The one
Rhonda.
that almost got raped.
No,
Oh, okay.
that was Sharon.
Yeah.
They kind of look at both. There's two of them that look kind of similar.
Well, they
Well,
didn't
you gotta
have much to
concentrate on
talk
the
about.
nose.
Yeah. And Kill, I'm probably the twins. The twin.
God, they're gross.
Do they just do everything together?
Yeah, like the thing about that, I don't like that.
They seem like
I
they're.
You
don't
guys
like-
are 18 years old. Wear different clothes.
Yeah, and
Yeah, twins
their
freak me
haircut
out.
is bad. They look like coconuts.
They were pretty cute though.
Yeah, they look like coconuts.
They seem like they were in the Michael. If I'm Michael and the Michelle Pfeiffer thing doesn't work out, I'm having a threesome with those twins.
And then I'm gonna raise Frenchie, because I'm gonna raise her and
Yeah.
hopefully get her to not drop out of beauty school.
Raise
Hey,
her right.
you got a dream, you need to follow it.
Yes,
Right.
stick with it.
As Father Frenchie that's what I would say to her.
You know what's
Yeah.
sad?
You call yourself Father Frenchie.
Father Frenchie.
Yeah.
She had
Now I want to raise her so I can be Father
She
Frenchie.
had
Yeah,
that.
right? That's fine.
She had
We
that.
all take turns.
She had that dream sequence in the first one that Angel was telling her to not, don't drop out.
Yeah, don't drop out.
And then
Yeah.
she still did.
She's still good.
God.
So she clearly has no
Needs
one at
help.
home.
She needs help.
Yeah, she needs help. Yeah.
And
Okay.
we'll help her.
So-
yeah, we raise her. It's
Yeah.
Father Frenchie's.
All right, let's rate this puppy out of 5 and give our final thoughts, and then let's wrap this up.
Okay, so this movie, I mean, it's just fun. It's fun to watch. It's awesome to hang out and drink too, because it doesn't require a lot of attention. You can just kind of have it on and talk over it, essentially, and still get the whole plot.
Right.
Because it's just Grease 1. I give this movie, out of how many?
Out of 5.
Okay, out of 5, I'm going to give it like a 3.5
3.5
stars.
stars. We do stars on this podcast.
Cars, motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Yeah.
There we go. 3.5
Yeah.
stars.
Oh, how about wheels
Wheels.
Yeah.
or combs?
Can I
Well, there's
rate it?
only 2.
Oh, we each
Two
pick.
on
All
motorcycle.
right, so you got, what was your little symbol?
Motorcycles.
So you got, I'm going to do combs.
I'm gonna do jumps for reams.
Ooh, got it.
I'll tell you mine when I review.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
3.5 maples.
All right.
for me.
So in my heart, this is a perfect 5. But if I'm being objective, it is probably like a 2 out of 5.
Ooh.
Here's the thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what you gonna do here?
Here's the thing.
Harsh.
No, I know. I'm gonna give it a 2. Objectively,
Whoa.
no.
What?
Objectively, it is 2 combs. Now here's the thing. Like
Combs.
this movie is.
Oh, I thought this whole time you were saying cone.
Me too. I was thinking
Cones?
traffic cones.
Hey, that works too. Cones work
I
too.
was like, Jeff's a traffic cone. I'm a pothole. Barrett's on a tricycle.
So here's the thing. Like
Whole bit.
this movie is it's just a rehash of the first movie, and the thing with it is like none of the songs, like out of all the songs, not one of them is as good as the worst song from the first movie,
Yeah.
which would be
That's
Beauty School
true.
Dropout.
I think everyone has a different worst song.
Yeah, and but it's just a bad movie, but it's like so fun to watch, and like just like we had such a fun time on Friday, just like roasting it, and yeah, it's just I don't know what they were thinking. Like I don't know why. Like why would you make a sequel to Grease? Like Grease doesn't lend itself to another movie, but
Right.
so yeah, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's one of my all-time favorite bad movies. It's just a lot of fun, and while a lot of the songs suck, some of them are actually kind of catchy. So yeah, two combs.
Wow, just 2
out of 5.
Okay. Yeah. So the music in this movie is bad, for sure. But it's bad in a funny way,
Right.
where like the lyrics are obnoxious. There's not really tunes to any of these songs. There's not rhythm to these songs. Like the dancing is only good in the opening number. The plot is the same except with motorcycles. It's embarrassing that this movie took more than a day to make.
But how are you gonna make this movie in a day?
It feels like the whole movie takes place in one day,
That's what
but then
they
all of a
talk
sudden
about.
they're
I thought you meant like production wise. I was like,
No, that
actually-
too. Like, I mean, at least written. It should have been written in an hour because you just change people's names.
Well,
from the
nobody
first
wrote
script.
this. They didn't have a finished scripts.
That's true. But very fun to watch, very fun to drink to and laugh at, and reproduction scene is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Iconic.
So I give it 3.7 nuclear bombs.
I love that.
I forgot to make one point. This movie to me feels like an unintentional parody of the first one.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I like I said, I love this movie. I've always loved this movie. I watch it more than I would watch Grease 1. I guess the one thing, like, you think about the fact that, like, not only with this movie, Grease 1, they were, like, seriously talented. Like, the dance scene for American Bandstand,
Mm-hmm.
like, they are crazy talented. Like, Danny and Sandy are
yeah.
The
dancing
hand
their ass
job.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in that scene, everyone is dancing their ass off. And in this one, like, the reproduction scene, there's this classroom orgy. So,
Yeah.
really dancing in the whole, like, they're literally having a classroom orgy during that
Yeah.
scene. So, no one's really that super talented in this movie. And the acting isn't great outside of maybe, like, some flashes from Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I love this movie, as cheesy and as campy as it is. And the fake Brooklyn accents, even though they're in
Right,
California
the
or Chicago.
ridiculous
and that.
accents.
So if Grease 1 is 4.5 jumps of the LA River out of 5 jumps of the LA River,
Yeah.
then this movie, in my heart, is 6 jumps of the ravine out of 5 jumps of the ravine.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
But in reality, it's like not even making it across the ravine. It's
Right.
he
It's
dies.
in Brooklyn.
It's in Brooklyn.
So your score jumped the ravine that is the scale.
Yeah, and in my heart, it jumps the ravine. It jumps the ravine of my heart.
Yeah.
This movie does.
That's love.
That's love.
Wow.
I love this movie. And Barrett and I have always talked about making Grease 3.
Let's talk this out real quick. Grease 3, what would it be? I mean, I feel like it has to be.
I think we figured it out after we watched the movie the other day.
Oh, it's
It's spelled Greece, as in the country Greece.
Oh, yeah.
And they're on sailboats
In Greece.
instead of motorcycles or cars.
And all
Greece.
the songs are about Greek mythology and taxes.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it, guys. Okay, so I want this to be.
And they're all cousins of people who've been.
So it's gonna be Michael Carrington and Stephanie's daughter,
Right.
and it's gonna be Danny Zuko and Sandy's son.
Right.
They go to the same high school.
In
and
Greece.
But no, not in Greece. But I'm getting to that.
Okay.
This takes place in like
Riverdale.
late 80s,
Right.
early 90s,
I mean,
and they do a class trip to Greece, and then they start, and then the movie is called Grease.
But now we also gotta
And-
look at the fact that they would then be second cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Because when originally talking about this, I think a lot of people think of, what if it was just like Danny and Sandy's kids, and then those kids. But no matter how you do it, they're still
Like,
second
yeah,
cousins.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, you know what? They're second cousins. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, no. Here's how you do it. So you flash forward. It's say we go to so this is filmed in the '60s. So their kids. So it's an '80s movie, right? Danny and Sandy, and then Stephanie and Michael have kids. And their kids are one is their cousins. One is like the head of the T-Birds, and the other one is like a nerdy cousin.
Okay.
His nerdy cousin,
Mm-hmm.
and who wants to be a member of the T-Birds, but he was like, "Nah, you're not cool enough to be with the T-Birds, even though you're my cousin." He tries to hide the fact that they're cousins because it would hurt his reputation that his cousin was this nerdy kid.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, like that's.
So are they still?
And then Crater Face enters.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's like 89.
He's still terrorizing.
He's like 89.
He's got a rascal
and-
scooter.
And Frenchie can still not fucking pass.
But that, the movie ends with Frenchie getting her honorary diploma because
Yeah.
she still didn't get her.
And
role.
Mr. Spears is still dying and coming back to life.
Well, in real life,
They worship him in this world at this point because he's like the Jesus of Greece world.
though, Craterface died of AIDS in 1994. right?
Well,
Really?
well,
Yeah.
how about you
Yeah.
recast them, and then since it's like late '80s, early '90s, like you make Crater Face have AIDS, and it's
Right.
like also a cautionary tale to
Oh.
practice safe sex. Boom, we figured it out. That's
Figured it
Grease, Greece.
Grease.
And I leave you with that, folks. This was Grease 2. Boy, did I have a lot of fun. 10th episode extravaganza. Hopefully there'll be 10 more and many more.
I don't know if you
10
can
more
do that.
episodes.
That is a big feat, sir.
10 more.
I'm gonna have to have you guys come on again at some point. We'll have to do some.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
be on,
every
like in 2 episodes.
yeah. I think every 10 episodes, I'm just gonna do a funny bad movie.
Extravaganza.
Mr. Nanny.
You know what? We might do Mr. Nanny.
Yeah!
We might.
It's Hulk Hogan.
So yeah, that was Grease 2. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next week.
Where does the pollen go?
Boom.